Hello fellow modelers and styling fanatics, welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone is doing fine and enjoys the hobby. Concrete Banger is back once again for another one of its notorious episodes. In today's episode, me and Past George are doing some more work in our Stug 3 10.5 cm from Dragon in 1 to 35th scale and kit number 9058. So we have managed, as I've said, we have managed to do some more work. Most of it is is onto the upper hole, and I have to say that we have reached a good stage. Another thing I want to say is that today I have finally have the stuff that I need for the Panzer diorama in my hands. They just arrived, so expect on our next video a final for that build. But anyway, this is a topic for another video. Let's see what we have in stock for today. You guys know the drill. Like the mandatory cold one, grab a seat, make yourselves comfortable, and let's see what me and Past George have in stock for you today. So guys, welcome. Let's start part 2 of our in-between Stug. That's how I'm gonna call it for my friend Paul for the lunchtime series, the lunchtime project, and we're gonna start immediately, or not immediately, exactly where we left off. Let me grab the instructions, and let me remind you that in our previous episode we have left the Stug up until the 6th step of the instructions, the 6th part. Sixth part is almost finished, and I'm saying almost because we haven't added the spare tracks and the spare tracks holder. I'm leaving these parts off because I'm gonna paint them separately, and we're gonna move forward to part 7. Now in part 7 we are going to work onto the upper hull of our vehicle, and mainly on the engine deck. Now over here we have to take care of two sub-assemblies. As you can see, those two are engine hatches. That's how I'm calling them. I don't know if that's the the right name, but on top of the engine hatches we have the brackets that hold the spare wheels. As you can see, I have highlighted the spare wheels because those are parts that I'm gonna add later on, because of course they will need detail painting. And in general, whatever needs detail painting, I am highlighting it on my instructions. I do this every time because after I will finish the main assembly and the main painting of the vehicle, I'm gonna start attaching those detailed quote-unquote detailed parts. So this will help me spot them easier, and this will help me not to forget anything. So this is a neat trick for you guys. I already know that you know, but I have said let's make this video bigger. So let's move on to our 7th step. So every part for step number 7 is cleaned and ready to go. I will start with the smaller stuff first, and we will progress as we speak. As you see. Now let me make sure that I have the right camera angle. I think that over there we are just fine, hopefully. Now I am going to start with this small hook. It should be oriented like this and goes over here at the back. And while we are working, I decided I wanna talk about something. I want your guys' opinion in the comment section below. and if you hear some purring, this is my cat. This is my bench cat. She always comes near when I'm building something anyway. This is here. Now we are going to attach something like a toolbox. I believe that it is a toolbox, and what I wanted to talk about is parts count on a kit. My opinion about that is that I love high part count kits. This is mainly because I believe that they are more value for money. You know, you buy a kit and except from details and how well the molds are, I count its value also in how long it takes you to build it. You know, how involved are you doing building that kit. And I always like high parts count kits because I build them. It takes me more time to build them, so I like that. I love that because it gives me more time to think what I'm gonna build next and what my plans are. So it is more value for money for me. Let me know your guys' opinion about that topic in the comment section below, as I've said. Okay, I'm not always opting for high parts count kits, but mainly that's what I like. So we added the toolbox over here, and now we are going to add those bigger engine hatches over here. Now, those engine hatches are separate in multiple pieces. We have the hinges that we need to attach, 2 in each one, and we have these louvers, I think that they are called. I'm not gonna attach, instructions state that you need to attach the hinges first and then the whole part to the upper hull. Well, I'm not gonna do that, and I'm gonna explain you why as we go. Now let me attach the louvers first, and we're gonna talk about this as well. I am really talkative today. So let's start. Okay, this one is ready. And it has to go over here at this side, like so. Yep. Now I didn't want to attach the hinges here because I want them to be as realistic as I could, which means that half of the hinge is going to be on the part, and half of the other half of the hinge needs to be onto the upper hull. This is going to be easier if my hatch is on its respected position. So that's why I am doing it like this. I'm sure that you guys have a better way, mainly most experienced modelers than I. And if so, I am also curious to hear your way of thoughts, hear your train of thoughts onto this one. Mainly, I am curious for discussion this time. So we have the hatch is ready to go in place, and now I am going to attach the hinges. Let me grab another set of tweezers, because these are gonna send the parts flying. Not that the others won't do, but that's my excuse and I'm sticking with it. Let's apply our glue. And let's start. Okay, be gentle. Move the part in position. Alright. Hopefully I am in frame. Sorry guys, although I have a new camera arm, this doesn't help a lot because I cannot see my phone screen. I cannot totally see where the camera is aiming at. I will need to fix that problem. There we have the second one, brilliant. And let's move on to the other two. Gentle. There. Yep, I think that we are. Yeah, so. Alright. Hold your breath, guys. Whenever you work with tweezers, this helps a little bit to stabilize your hands. Hold your breath and be absolutely gently, or else you're gonna send the part flying to oblivion. Been there, done that so many times, and then you spend about an hour searching for the part. So this one is in position, I think. Yep, from what I can see, the parts are lined up correctly. As you can see, half of the hinge is onto the hole and the other half is onto our hatch. And now we move on to the rear hatches. As the rear hatches are assembled by different pieces. How I remedied that: sub-assembly 1, sub-assembly 2, and sub-assembly 1, sub-assembly 2 onto the instructions. These help me to be kinda organized. So let's grab the first. And let's immediately put it together. So the bracket for sub-assembly number 1, which is for these hats, should look this way. Excuse me guys, because this is a little bit snug fit, as you can hear. Ooh. See, I pressed the part a little bit more and boom, it disappeared. It almost disappeared. Now let's place it in position as intended. There we have it, like a glove, slick as shit. Thanks Michael for teaching me this cool punchline. And let's go for sub-assembly number 2, and of course the spare tire spare wheel mounting bracket, tell that 10 times fast, should orientate in the opposite direction from the other one. Of course, I am going to lift the part again, once again, because snug fit. Okay. And let's apply our glue. Place it in position. Come on. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, with all that, most of step number 7 is finished. Now we need to move to step number 8. Let me grab our instructions and see what step number 8 is all about. So on step number 8 we have more work onto the upper hull. Mainly we work on the detail parts of the left side, I mean this side. As I look it, this one is the right and this one is the left. And don't worry guys, if you see the part is twisted, I'm gonna fix it later. Now let's start working over here. Okay guys, let's start with part number 8, with step number 8 of the instructions. And here is a little rant from me. Okay, this kit had photo-etched parts included, and here is why my rant. Here is why I am going to have a rant, or make a rant, or whatever you are doing with the rant. This is the photo-etched parts instructions. This is kinda detailed, but it's too busy if you ask me. They should take the time, incorporate these these instructions onto the instruction sheet, which of course isn't. Which of course doesn't work, or isn't, I don't know, which of course isn't happening. Now I found the right word. So I'm gonna leave this aside for a moment, and or of course when we're gonna add the photo-etched parts, what we're gonna do it separately. I'm gonna explain. So on step number 8 we add our first photo-etched pieces. But I'm gonna do it separately. I'm gonna first add the plastic parts, and then I am going to return with the photo-etched pieces, because I don't wanna have scattered photo-etched parts in my workspace while I am working with plastic pieces. That's why I am doing it. So I have cutted all the necessary plastic parts, and those are the parts that we are gonna add right now, and then we're gonna return for the photo-etched parts. Another thing that I wanna rant is about the parts. Here are the engine air intakes, or heat exhaust systems, if that made sense. On those parts we need to attach those small hooks, and of course there is no indication where to attach them. Instructions state that these hooks must be in between the first hole, if that made sense. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna eyeball it, because why not? Because there is no way for me to do it in another way. So let's do that and hope for the best. Let me apply extra thin all over the part, all over the area, to be honest with you. And let's start with that. Oh, it has to go somewhere here. Yep, somewhere there. This pisses me off, but it is what it is. It's nothing I can do for it now. So first part is ready. Let me eyeball the second one. So onto the second one, we need to attach it over here at this side. I'm not usually complaining about kits, but when I do, I wanna believe that there is a reason behind it. Now, this reason may be stupid for you guys, but it is not for me. Or so do I think. That's what I think. So, sorry. Almost here. Yep. And that's the other side. Now, let's leave those two pieces to dry over here. Keep in mind that they are labeled with different numbers. This one is B10 and this one is B11. B11 is for this side and B10 is for that side. So keep them separately as you work. And let's continue with our smallest, with the rest of our parts. So here we have to attach some tiny brackets, and I'm talking about these ones. Let's hope for the best. Let's also hope that I am in frame for this. Here, and I think not this way, the other way around. These must be tool holders or something like that. So it's had to be orientated like this. Let me see, here we are. Parts need to be orientated like this. And now for the final plastic parts. So both of these are parts E4, and each one is for each side. And if you can take a closer look, I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but over here there it's not so visible, but it's their position point. They have to be placed over here. So snug fit. I don't know if you guys heard that. There was a small clicking sound there. And and for the first time in my career I am careful with glue application and I'm not flooding the part. Wowzers. This doesn't happen every day. There we have it. And now let's move on to the engine louvers, exhausts or intakes. I think that those are exhaust intakes, air intakes. Exhaust air, sorry, engine air intakes. So let's attach the first one. In this side we need B10 and of course on the other side we need B11. On the exact opposite side. And as we speak I am thinking of how much is possible of how much of PE work is possible for me to film. I will need to think about that. Now I'm gonna leave this to dry as it is. This is half of step 8 if you are following my build closely and you intend to do the same kit with the photo-etched parts. If not, there are much more plastic parts that they are need to be attached over here. So anyway, in our case which means that we are attaching photo-etched pieces. Photo-etched time is now. Okay guys, we will not proceed to step 9. I don't remember if I have told you something like that in my previous video. But we are going to continue working on the PE stage. So here is what we have to work with. This is our photo-etched instructions, and because they are pretty complicated to my eyes at least, I'm gonna break them into small pieces. I'm gonna start with the easy parts first, which is none other than the mounting brackets for the additional armor plates. We will need to add 6. The first batch of parts are those 6 pieces, those 6 90-degree angles, and they go. I have already pre-bended them to the 90-degree angle. Here is a closer look. I'm gonna try. Here is a closer look of the part. Let me see if I can focus, please. Yep. And as you can see, it has some nice bolt detail, and we need to add 3 and 3 to each side. Sorry. So the places we need to add them are these. If you can have a look, there is an indentation here, here, and here. So we will proceed with that. Let me pour some glue onto my sacrificial jar, and let's start with the application. So the part that has the detail is the bolt detail, sorry, is the one that needs to go to be glued on the upper hole. There we have it. like a glove. Let's continue with our second one. Let's make the video bigger because this week was election week over here in Greece, so I didn't have much time to work onto this build, mainly because friends from Athens came to visit so they can vote, so I was a bit lazy. I'm gonna be totally honest with you guys. So, no, let me see. Yeah, almost there. And let's move on to the other side. No? No. Let's try that again. There we have it. Spot on. Oh, come on. Once again, I'm gonna tell you that when a kit has photo-etched parts, I'm gonna try my best to attach them because I like working with photo-etched because they are challenging and of course they add a lot more detail, and in my books they are cool stuff, even though you see me fighting over here. Come on now, seriously, okay. I'm gonna find it later on. Hopefully I didn't lose it. Let me pause the video and I'm gonna be right back. And I have found it, lucky me. Let's be on frame. And we should be good. So, now that we have attached this mounting brackets, we're gonna proceed with the mesh that goes on top of those vents. As you can see, the mesh is a whole sub-assembly on itself. Sorry, we need to attach 4 parts on each photo-etched mesh. Let me prepare the parts. And I'm going to be back for the installation. Okay guys, I have realized that I was talking all alone and not in front of the camera for at least 10 minutes. And although I know that I've told you that I'm gonna put one of these 2 sub-assemblies in front of the camera, this was impossible. Let me grab the instructions so I can explain you better. As you can see over here, it's one of these meshes, and I mean meshes with H and meshes without H because I created the mesh on top of my bench. See what I did there? Anyway, those 2 meshes need 4 small pieces of photo-etched parts glued onto them as well. So those pieces were tiny. It was almost impossible for me to catch the process on camera, And just to give you an idea, I am gonna put you a photo. I'm gonna add a photo over here so you can see how tiny they were. It took me a good 20 minutes for each one to clean them and glue them together. So I did that off camera so we can avoid all the curses and lost time. And here we are. I have already attached one by speaking to myself because I thought I was recording, but looks like I wasn't. And we are going for the second one. And oh boy, I am creating a mess. No, I am not creating a mess. So now I'm gonna leave these two parts cure to place, and then I am going to bend those small ears in place as well. And with that done, we have finished with our work onto the photo-etched parts for the time being. I will need to attach more photo-etched parts, of course, but I will need to first attach the superstructure onto the upper hull. So now we're gonna return back to part 9 of the instructions, and excuse me, wobbly mode. So part 9, 10 and 11 are mostly pioneer tools and accessories for the Stug. Anyway, I'm gonna skip those steps. I'm gonna skip attaching the tools and accessories because, as you already know, I will paint them separately, and I am going to attach all the detail parts left. Step number 9. All parts are small, tiny, I should say, not small. Small is another scale of things. It is a bigger scale of things. And we need to attach the tail light, this small part over here. Let me push them so I can be sure that I am on in frame. So these two hooks, brackets, this small unknown square part and the tail light need to go to the upper hole. Now we're gonna leave the tail light aside, and we're gonna start with a relatively easy part first. Over here, you possibly cannot see right now, I have two square indentation. One is closer to this gap and the other one is closer to the rear end of the vehicle. Our small square part goes to the second one, which is closer to the rear end of the vehicle. Oops. Like so. Oh my god, this is so tiny. Okay, and now we have those brackets. So those need to go one on each side. There is a square indentation here and another one here, here and here. So they will need to go like this. Yeah, right. Hopefully you guys can see what I am doing and how I am attaching those parts. So one of them goes here. No, not like this. Like so. Okay, it looks good to me. Now you're gonna say that doesn't matter if it looks good to me, it matters only if it looks good in general, but I have nothing to answer on that. I have no answer to that. Yep, and the other one goes like so. And let's glue the tail light right now. Which by the looks of it must be the part that I'm gonna knock mostly off the vehicle until the end. Not gonna lie. I believe that I'm gonna knock it over more than 20 times until the end of the build. Anyway, let's keep it over there. Let's move on to part number 10, wobbly mode once again. And let's talk about part number 10. So, to this part we will need, onto step number 10, we will need to attach H8, this one, and those two over here. As you can see, pieces are tiny, and I am probably gonna do this off camera because I don't wanna spend your time. So, I completely skipped step number 10, recording it, I mean. Let me give you a closer look what I have done. On to step number 10, I have attached one and another piece over here, and these two, and that was everything I needed to attach. The rest of it was that, according to the instructions, was the plastic counterparts of the photo-etched parts over here, and another plastic bracket for the side armor, which we are gonna attach to the future because we're gonna try to use the photo-etched parts. And right now we are on to step 11. Step 11 is the attachment of the superstructure to the upper hull, together with those two small triangular plates. If you can see them over here, yes, I think that you can. So we're gonna use both glues, Tamiya extra thing and the contactor. Let's start with the placement of our bigger part first, which is none other than the superstructure piece. As you can see, it folds right in place. Okay, needs some persuasion here and there because our upper hull is warped, but I think that we are going to make it. That's what she said. Yeah, that's what she said. And right now I am debating myself to where apply my glue. Of course, and I should do that while I was test fitting the parts, but I completely forgot that. Anyway, we're gonna proceed as it is. I'm gonna attach it over here and here. Of course, I'm gonna put some clamps to hold everything in place off camera. And what you see right now, it is just a glimpse So let's suppose that this is glued. Let's suppose that this is glued firmly in place. What we need to do with those triangular parts? These parts need to go one over here and one on the exact opposite side over here. So let's apply those as well. Do it quickly because I will need to place the upper superstructure exactly in place. Push it firmly. You guys know what I mean. Let me bring the part closer to my eyes. So the wee man is also awake. It's all about timing, my friends. So there we have it. Let me take care of the rest of it off camera, of course, and we're gonna be back for step number 12. So guys, we are up to step 12 right now, and as you can see I have glued the superstructure onto the upper hole. Off camera, of course, it needed the help of all of my clamps, to be honest with you, to hold the part down, but it looks decent apart from this spot over here which has a small gap, but I think that I am going to be able to fix it when I will apply the upper hole to the lower hole as well, so I can clamp everything together. So for the time being we're gonna leave it like this. We have still retained articulation on our main gun, and we are moving forwards. Now, as I said, we are all the way up to step 12. Let me grab the instructions and show you. So at step 12 we apply some pieces, detail parts, onto the front of the upper hole over here. Straight from the get-go I found a mistake here. The part with the bolts is not part A33 and this one is not part K15. They are the exact opposite. So the part with bolts, the additional armor, is K15 and this one is A33, so keep an eye out for those two. Now what we need to do, first of all we need to put together the driver's vision block, which is this one, this sub-assembly over here. I have all the parts cleaned and ready to go here, and then we need to remove this small square rectangular piece from over here, which is this one, and we will proceed forward. Now let me remove the part first, and then we are going to move to the driver's vision block sub-assembly. Now let's see how are we going to do that, because we have also some detail over here. Let me grab my stuff. Let me grab my handy tools. Let me find a chisel. and I'm afraid of that scissor, to be honest with you guys, because I have stabbed myself twice while using it. But anyway, necessary evil, it is what it is. Let's hope that I won't stab myself in front of the camera, or I won't stab myself at all, to be honest with you. This is not the time to do it, because everything is onto the hole, but it is what it is. It is almost, it is also my fault, because I didn't show that. I didn't see that in instructions before I start putting parts together. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Okay. Now, neither I stabbed myself or did any damage at all. Lucky me. Professional handling there. So, I just knocked off a bracket. Okay, this I can easily fix. There we are. Let's sand this thing a little bit if I can. Okay. As you can hear, I have my cat company. Cats are assholes. Whenever I want her to come near close by, she never comes. But now that I don't need her, yeah, she's stuck on me. Anyway, I still love her because she's an asshole. Now, let's leave this aside, leave the thing to dry that I re-glued, and let's move on to the driver's vision block, which consists of these three pieces. Now, hopefully you see what I am doing. Let's start with the glue application. We need to drop the vision block itself over here, there, and now we need to drop this part. Let me see. Okay, doesn't matter the orientation. We need to drop this one on top of it. And I know that I am doing it with an unorthodox way. But there is a reasoning behind of what I'm doing here that I cannot explain right now. And this one needs to go on top. And there we have it. Now that we have this one ready, let's glue both of these onto its both of these pieces onto its respective place, so we don't have them laying around on our bench. So of course driver's thingy goes onto this side. I need to make sure that this sits flush on and creates a 90-degree bend. And I think that we are where we need to be. And this one onto this side. Same deal over here, I think. Yep. Spot on, spot on. And we came back for the rest of step number 12 of the instructions, and let me show you some parts that I also discovered while I was cleaning parts. So, apart from the protrusion we cleaned onto the front part of the Stug, we also had to clean another protrusion on part K12, which should go over here at the front. In my case, because I am opted for the add-on armor plates, so we needed to clean the same protrusion that was over here. And another part, and another thing, either we choose for the gun locking mechanism or the fog light to go in front of this armor plate. My choice was the fog light, so this is not an option for me, not an option. This thing I won't need it. Another thing that I decided to do is to leave the mud guards off until I will attach the upper hull to the lower hull, and the tracks are onto the vehicle, so these two parts have to wait. And I have also attached parts H9, 1 and 2 over here, 1 and 2 off camera, because they were small and fiddly and I almost lost them. Apart all those, which are quite a lot of stuff, everything else will be getting will be going onto our vehicle for the time being. So let's start from the front armor plate, the add-on armor, which is going to go over here like so. Yeah, like so. Sorry guys, like this. Now we have to attach those two pieces. One on each side. These are the fender support brackets, fender holding brackets, or however you wanna call them. One goes over here where I'm applying my glue right now, and the other one over here. So one goes there and the other one there. Let me bring the parts closer to my eyes, and because I am looking it from at least 40 centimeters away. There we have those two. one and one over here. We also have to attach this thing, which is a thing that is probably used to deflect a shot, trying to deflect a shot. And it goes over here, so the driver can be protected a little bit more. And now for the fog light. Fog light is consisted of two parts, and it is supposed to go here according to the instructions and some photos that I have seen. Okay. For this I will need extra thin. And there we have it. And with all those done, our part 12 is finished. Now, what are we gonna do? I think that we have enough footage in our disposal for to wrap another episode. Let me check, and I am going to be back. I have guessed right. We have enough footage for this episode, and with all that said and done, we have made it to the end of the episode, of course. On our next episode, we will probably continue building the rest of the Stug, and if we are lucky, we should be able to finish the main assembly of the vehicle. I hope that you guys found this video helpful and interesting, and stick along for the next one. Before I go, I wanna thank each and every one of you guys that watched this video. A special thank you to my old and new subscribers. You guys are the best, and you are the reason I keep doing these videos, of course. For the newcomers out there that come to one of my videos for the first time, welcome guys. I hope that you like what I do. If so, you all know what to do. Leave a like, comment with your thoughts and opinions, share the video if you believe it deserves to be shared, or even consider subscribing for more builds to come your way. Until the next time, fellow modelers and friends, take care and model on. It was that Mofo Daemon, signing out.